Analysts expect that the Naira is going to strengthen further as the Central Bank of Nigeria is set to begin FX sales to bureau to exchange operators today. And I have with me Dipo Ajayi, is the head of fixed income and FX at Chapel Hill Denham. He joins me now as we explore what to expect. Thank you so much for your time on the show today, Dipo. What do you make of this move by the Central Bank, and how do you think this impacts the Naira going forward?
Yeah, the central bank, they've said it's before now that they are actually going to start selling FX when the economy actually opening up, particularly when the international flights actually commence. And we have seen that the international flight is meant to commence this week, and as a result, the CBN are also living up to their expectation to actually commence the selling of FX to bureau the change the operator this week. And I've been on several calls where the CBN governor actually reiterated that speculators, if they are not very careful, they are actually going to get their hands burnt. We saw that happening last week when people when people found out that the day is actually getting closer, when the CBN will actually commence the sale of FX to bureau exchange operators. And as a result, we saw the Naira dollar was trading like 470 to a dollar, around 430 at the end of the week last week. So for this week, we think that the commencement of the dollar sale will also affect the market, and we expect the Naira to actually further strengthen against the dollar.
All right, and we've also seen the central bank wave that heavy stick on some of the companies who they have accused of abusing the FX regulations so far. You know, how do you think what kind of message do you think this is going to send into the markets going forward?
You know, this is not the first time that the CBN, the Apex Bank, will actually told this line. If you look at it, some weeks ago, they actually mentioned something like that to exporters. The CBN actually warned them that those that are not repatriating their proceeds in the country, they are actually going to be punished. And in the same vein, the CBN also came heavily on 38 companies over the weekend on the same issue. And I think one of the things the CBN is trying to do is that as much as they are trying to actually now deploy more FX to the system, they are also looking at ways to actually block the leakage in the system, where the FX that are not actually needed for any activity is actually leaving the system. So on the part of the CBN, they feel that they also need to actually block those leakage, aside also pushing liquidity into the system so that Naira can actually be stable.
All right, we're seeing that the Nigerian economy open up further now with the resumption of flights there, but you've seen that Nigeria is capping the amount of passengers that are expected to come in on a daily basis, limiting that to only 1,280 people. Do you think this would impact the level of flows and we're expected to see, and the optimism that has trailed the reopening of the airports?
Yeah, I think one thing is this: it's no matter how much you are starting, it's the fact that you are starting. We don't expect us to start at the high level. We are supposed to start in bits, and at the same time, as you begin to see clearance, you actually increase that. But one thing I know that I'm very sure is that it will actually help the economy compared to when the economy is actually closed.
All right then, but looking at yields, so what are your expectations for yields going forward for the rest of this week?
Oh, if you look at the market, since last week we've been seeing a lot of PMs coming to market to cherry pick some instruments on the market. And this is not connected to the level of liquidity in the system. As at on Friday, the market closed with over 720 billion, and the market also opened above 700 billion this week. And as a result, the overnight rates and the OBB rate actually are around the 1.5 levels. And as a result, you expect a lot of PM to now start looking at opportunity in the market. And just same thing, last week, the CBN released the calendar, the Treasury calendar for the fourth quarter, and we found out that they are not issuing as much as what is maturing. So what that means is that there will be a prepayment in the fourth quarter. This also means that there are some investors that will not be able to actually reinvest the matured instrument, their mature fund into into in the instrument, like rolling over to the instrument. So as a result, we expect to see the yield on the markets actually go south this week. We expect a lot of people to come to market and start buying because the level of liquidity in the system. On Thursday, we are still expecting close to over 300 billion maturing into the system again. So with the system liquidity, you expect yield to drop this week.